Hi everyone, it's Caitlin from Really Big Plant. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. This is Phineas too, by the way. And for this video, we are going to be doing the 12th month of my annual subscription unboxing from Hirt's Gardens. So I've been subscribed to their annual subscription service, which means that I've been getting a plant once a month for the past year now almost. So this is the 12th box, and I actually was planning on not filming an unboxing video from Hirt's this month and tried to cancel my order from them, but we had a little bit of a communication mishap, and so this actually isn't going to be the last box. I asked them to hold the package for me until next month just because I had some personal things. I was traveling this month and wasn't sure if I was going to be able to receive the package, so I asked them to hold it for one more month. And they made a mistake and they sent me this package anyway, and luckily I was here to receive it and to do this unboxing real quick. But there will be another unboxing next month. So while this is the 12th one and this should technically be the end of this series, it's not, and we're gonna have another one. So the plan for the next month is I'm gonna do the sort of bonus unboxing, and then I'm also going to show you every plant that's come in this subscription box so you can see sort of what has happened to these different plants. Spoiler alert, I don't have all of them still. I'll show those to you next time. Okay, so if you have been watching this series, I'm sure you are aware by now, this subscription service was gifted to me by my husband, and I would probably not have chosen to sign up for a subscription service like this on my own just because I like to pick out my own plants. But this has been a really fun thing to do monthly, and so I'm excited to see what we've got in here. This box feels pretty heavy, so it kind of seems to me like there might be a pot in here. The subscription service is supposed to come with a 6-inch plant and sometimes a 4-inch plant or a 2-inch plant, and sometimes there's a pot included. Most of the time there hasn't been, but this box is feeling kind of heavy. So if there isn't a pot in here, it means that whatever's in here is pretty wet. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it out and see what we got this month.
Really big plant.
Okay, a big parsley. I'm just kidding, it's not a parsley. Okay, so this is not a parsley. It's a Ming Aurelia. Guess I should go ahead and unwrap it. And it does not have a pot, which means that the soil is wet enough that I thought there might have been a ceramic pot in the box, which means that this needs some light and some help. That being said, this plant does have a bit of a caudex, which is like when trees or plants form like a big water storage bulb. Actually, I kind of want to take back what I said about the wet soil, just because a lot of the weight could be attributed to this big thick base down here. Yeah, you know, the soil is actually not like as wet as it could be. So I think it's actually the plant. The plant's pretty heavy. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take some of this saran wrap off. The soil's pretty moist, so I'm just gonna need to give it some light. This plant also is kind of like squished up right now. This plant is kind of squished right now from having been in the box, but after it sits for a little while, these leaves and the branches should kind of spread open more. So this is a Ming Aurelia. I can't remember the scientific name for it. Polycia fruticosa. Doesn't sound quite right to me, but maybe it is. But yeah, this says it's the snowflake Ming Aurelia. It's the variegated version of this Aurelia. So the leaves have a little bit of a white edge, and there is another version that's just pure green. And I think that this plant looks a lot like parsley, like a parsley tree, which I think is actually really cute. The store that I've been working in, when we started selling these, we could not for the life of us get anybody to buy one of these plants, and most of them died in the shop. But what did come of it is that people started asking if we sold herbs and if this was parsley. Like, it created such an interest for parsley and other herbs that we actually started selling other edible plants because this one looked so much like parsley that so many people were requesting it. But this plant is not edible, and it is a bit of like an old school house plant. I actually don't know that much about these plants. I don't have any Ming Aurelias. I like that it looks like a little tree. These guys, I'm pretty sure, don't like to dry out too thoroughly between waterings. At least in my experience, the ones they were taking care of in the store, if they got too dry, they would just drop like a ton of branches at once. So I do think that this is a plant that likes to stay a little bit more consistently moist than a lot of other houseplants. These kind of like a medium light situation. I'm pretty sure this is actually a plant that can withstand relatively low light. It's just that any plant that doesn't like to dry out all the way, it's always a little bit of a risk to put it into a lower light situation because you have to let plants dry out if they're not getting sufficient light to use the water quick enough. Even on this note, it says that this plant may turn brown and crispy if it's allowed to dry out or if the air gets too dry. So this is a humidity loving plant. We'll see how this plant does in my collection because I tend to try to keep plants that can handle a little bit of neglect or like can handle being dried out or miss a watering or two, but this is a plant that I think doesn't really like to miss waterings. So we'll see how long this plant lasts in my collection. I'm gonna try to take care of it, but no guarantees. I'm glad that this one that came is so big because it gives me a little bit of a buffer with my care. If it does die back a little bit, there's still going to be plenty of foliage. And with any plant that's got a big base like this, even if it does defoliate completely, usually if you keep watering it and keep it in bright light and just allow these plants to have what they want, they'll grow back from a big base like this because these trunks do store a lot of energy and nutrients for the plant. I actually think this is really cute. Like, the more I'm looking at it as I'm holding it and talking to you about it, I'm like, what a cute little tree. I actually really like this. I think that it's adorable, and I'm excited for it to open up a little bit more so that I can see what the form of this plant is, because I don't think it's meant to be quite so compact like this. So I'll definitely show this to you next month when I do the bonus unboxing and the recap of this entire year's subscription service. So yeah, this is my Ming Aurelia from my July box. I would love to hear from you on your opinions on this plant, whether you've seen it before, whether you have one, whether you hate it. So this was a pleasant surprise because I did not think I was going to get a plant this month, and I wasn't sure whether they were going to send me the July box in August or if they were going to just send me their August box next month, but I guess we're gonna get the August box too. So this has been a great plant this month. I'm really excited for this to open up a little bit and to see how this plant grows. So thank you so much for watching. I hope everyone is having a fantastic week, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye.